share. Let's have a little chat. Little Spurs, Liverpool build up, of course. Big game on Sunday in London. It is Spurs. It is Liverpool. It is Conte. It is Klopp. It's whatever you want it to be. I, for one, can not wait for it. It's a big, big game, and I can't wait for it. And we need 3 points big time. We only have 2 league games left. Spurs away, Southampton at home. And then that's it. You have a League Cup game sandwiched in between against Derby at Anfield. Then it's the World Cup. I know it's the World Cup in November. It's crazy. It's madness. But it is in November. And it is madness. But then we go again. Hopefully we'll have the likes of Diaz, Jota, Matip and all these players back. And maybe one or two. Maybe a Declan Rice. Maybe a Jude Bellingham. Maybe somebody in January, but we shall see. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? As I say, hit the like, hit the share. Let's get people in to have a little chat. Get your comments in. What do you think of the big game on Sunday? I'm looking forward to it. It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde clash. It really is. I mean, Spurs, Liverpool. Spurs are up and down. They qualified. They won their group. The last kick of the game. Hallberg with a goal. Big, big goal for them. They won their group in the Champions League. We came second, joint second with Napoli on 15 points. But they had a better goal difference. They had a better head-to-head, basically. And what do you think of that? Who we can get in the last 16? Of course, we know who we can get in the last 16. It'll either be one of Sadio Mane's Bayern Munich. It'll either be Real Madrid, the champions, who beat us in the Champions League final, of course, in June, or it could be our favourites, FC Porto from Portugal, or Darwin Nunez's really improved Darwin Nunez's Benfica. So it's either Benfica, Porto, Real Madrid, or Bayern Munich. I have a feeling we're going to get Sadio Mane's Bayern Munich. I really did. I said it yesterday, possibly, but we know who we can get. It could have been worse. Could have been PSG in there. Only for Benfica. Won by, I think, 5 clear goals, something like that. That's the reason they finished top. So, you know, Benfica, Porto, Bayern, it's 50-50, isn't it? 50-50, you'll either get a Bayern or a Real or a Porto and a Benfica. Now, Benfica aren't bad, Porto aren't bad, but you'd rather them than Real or Bayern, wouldn't you? Really. Spurs 0, Liverpool 3, Nunez, Salah, Trent to score, says LFC CJ1. Hit the like, hit the share, let's get people in. Let's have a little chat, a little build-up. I'll do a few build-up shows, maybe do another one tomorrow on Saturday. We shall see, because it is a big game. There's only 2 games left. It's our last away game this size of the World Cup, and we need points. We need to get 3 points on the board. It was a good win the other night, of course, against Napoli. Ultimately winning 2-0 with 2 late goals, 85 and I think it was 94 or 5 minutes in deep in injury time. Salah and Nunez. And Nunez did really well when he came on, didn't he? I gave him my man of the match because a huge impact sub. But Salah was decent as well. But we'll need both of them, and I think both of them will start. We'll do the starting 11, which we think will be the starting 11 for the Spurs game. We want to keep it tight. We want to not let in any silly goals first 10-15. Cannot be given the likes of Kane, Harry Kane. I think Son still has a bit of an injury. Whether he plays or not is another thing. But we can't be giving Harry Kane any chances, because usually he sniffs and he scores. So we got to be very, very careful. I'm so confident, especially when they might not have Son. Yeah, but it's touch and go though, isn't it? So we don't know. Probably hear a lot more tomorrow in the press conference. It's the Friday press conference. We just have to, we just have to really look after ourselves and look after our game. I mean, keep it tight. I have a feeling we will keep it tight. I think it'd be Robertson. It'd be Alisson in goal, obviously. It'd be Robbo, it'd be Trent, it'd be Van Dijk and Konate. Van Dijk, Konate look good, look really good at the moment. I'd keep them there. Midfield, will he go for the famous midfield with Hendo, Thiago and Fabinho? Really keep it tight away from home in a really tough place, Spurs. And then Nunez, Bobby, Salah up front. I think that will be the team. It's whether he goes with the 3 or goes with maybe someone like Harvey Elliott there instead, with either Fab, Thiago, or Hendo, Fab, and then Harvey. You know, we shall see. As I say, it's going to be really interesting. We've options. We've a few players there. Curtis Jones as well, and Simicus has played well recently. So we have options there now, and that's the really good news for Liverpool. Isn't that the good news for Liverpool fans? But it's going to be a tough ground. Don't get me wrong. It won't be easy. It won't be an easy place to go, even though they're hot and cold and we've decent record there and all this type of thing. But we seem to be breaking the wrong records this season. So we've got to go there. You know, first, as I say, first 10-15, keep it tight. Try catch them at a break would be really good. But it won't be easy. As I said, they've got dangers all over the field. They're really Conte is an unbelievable, really good manager and stuff. But whether Son plays or not, I think is a big decision for us. I'd rather him not on the pitch. Heung-min Son. I mean, I'd like him at Liverpool. He's that good. He's good record against Liverpool as well. So is Kane. But I'd rather Son off the pitch than on the pitch. And we shall see what happens on Sunday. What is your prediction for the game? Who do you want in the last 16? As I say, we know who we can get. One of 4 teams. What do you think of the Declan Rice rumours seem to be gathering a lot more pace, and the Jude Bellingham's one's going the other way, probably towards Madrid, and the Declan Rice one's filling up, but I don't know. I just don't know, but I hope and dream we're going to get somebody in January. I don't think it'd be a big sign out. Conrad Lamar is coming back again. I think his contract's up next summer, so Liverpool might get him for a few million. He's a decent technical midfielder. I did do a video on him back in August when we were linked with him. Conrad Lamar. So I have a feeling it'd be something like that coming in January, and you wouldn't get a Bellingham or you wouldn't get a Declan Rice type sign until next summer, because realistically, West Ham aren't going to let Rice go, and Bellingham, Dortmund halfway through the season, I just can't see it. The price is after the World Cup as well. I mean, if Rice has a good World Cup, it'll turn into fried rice, basically. You know what I mean? Eamon Kelly in the house. How are you, bro? Gary is in the house. Gary Richards, Eamon Kelly. Hi, David, fellow Reds. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to do a quick little chat here tonight. Obviously, about a bit of build up into the game and bits of rumours floating around. We have a little starting 11. There's 1 or 2 injuries on the Spurs side. What'll happen? It's going to be an interesting game. As I said, they're hot and cold. He lost 2-1 in the last game against Newcastle. If you've seen, that was good game football. I mean, Spurs had chances as well, but Newcastle really played well. Doug from the Doug Football Channel's in. How are you, Doug? Hopefully you are well. It didn't finish top of that group tonight. I think they needed to win by 2 clear goals. They won 1-0 away at Sociedad, and they finished second in their Europa League group. I would have thought they would have won that group, but sure, there you go. I think Arsenal are playing at the moment, but I'm just hoping we're not in that Europa League next year. I'm begging, I'm dreaming. I'm just absolutely hoping we are not in that bloody league next. Tally-ho, Dave, says Gary. He loves that tally-ho. And he loves Darwin Nunez. That's his favourite. I like Darwin to score a goal or 2 on Sunday. I really would. I think 6 points. If we can get 6 points in our last 2 league games before the World Cup breakup, basically. Spurs the weekend, then next weekend away at home to Southampton, and the League Cup game midweek. I'm not too worried about that. I can rest most of the players and that, but if we can get 6 points, I think it'll really give us a good chance. 4 points, but I want 6. The last 2 games we've lost, the Forest game and the Leeds game, has really put it up against us now. You know what I mean? A draw on Sunday would have been an okay result if we would have won those last 2, but we didn't, and now we're under a bit of pressure to get points on the board, so really interesting. Haven't won an away game yet. I'm going for a 1-1, says Eamon Kelly. Yeah, our away record in the league is just bad. Spurs aren't even that good this year. They're scraping games. I've seen them in 1 or 2 games where they were good and very good, but I've also seen them in 1 or 2 games where they were really poor and Conte wasn't happy on the sideline. So I'm hoping we get a poor Spurs on Sunday and a poor Harry Kane and whatever, and Son isn't playing and things like this. And obviously I want the 3 points, and I don't think it's going to be an easy game. But we won't be good. We're super confident. Both teams will be confident for decent wins midweek, progressing in the Champions League. Spurs with that last minute winner actually won them the group. So, that was a big thing for them. Look, it won't be an easy game, but we've got to turn up. We've got to bring our A game to beat them. Spurs beat Leicester 6-2. That's the only game I've seen them very good yet. It was a hat-trick. Son, was it Son? I think Son came on in that game and scored a hat-trick. I was watching that in the pub. I think it was on the background, but some lovely goals. Leicester are sort of all over the place. Hard to judge on that one. I mean, they'll be looking at this one as well, going, Liverpool, it's going to be tough. Liverpool will be looking for a spark, looking for a reaction, and the players are starting to play. The defence is getting a lot more solid, which is huge for us, and the midfield's even doing a lot better, a lot more tracking back. Even Fabinho the other night against Napoli was a little bit, not 100% back to what we expect, but a lot better. Robertson or Tsimikas for Sunday? I go Robertson. I mean, Tsimikas hasn't put a foot wrong. I mean, he must be really looking at himself and what have I got to do? But Robertson, I have Robertson. As I said, I gave me team. I'll give it again what I would think if everybody's fit. I would go Alisson. I would go Van Dijk, Kanate. I would go Trent. I would go Robertson. I would go Thiago. I would go Fabinho and Elliott, but I think he might go Hendo and might have that solid three away from home against a really good team like Spurs. But whether he goes Elliott or not, I don't know. With Bobby Nunez and Salah up front, I don't think we've any choice but not to play those three. It's going to be interesting what he does. But as I say, Conte, he's done a really good job at Spurs. I thought he would have been better though this season. As I said, they've been hot and cold, a bit like us, hot and cold. A little bit better than us in the league, of course, but we've been so fucking poor in the league. Nunez must start, says Gary. Alisson, Robertson, VVD, Van Dijk, Trent, Thiago, Hendo, Elliott, Nunez, Bobby and Salah. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. I was going to have Fab instead of Hendo there, but you could also play Fab, Hendo and Thiago and maybe leave Elliott on the bench, but we shall see, of course. Conte is very defensive, says Gary. All Italians are defensive, aren't they? All the famous 80s and 90s, the Italian teams are very defensive, very hard to beat. You know what I mean? He'd have that bit of magic then up front, and then usually with Scalacci in the 1990 World Cup, of course, remember? Stuff like that, but knocked Ireland out in the quarterfinals with Scalacci goal. I'll always remember that one. In 1990. Fabinho hasn't cut the mustard this season. Hendo in, please, says LFC. I thought Fabinho was okay midweek against a very good Napoli side. He's a lot better. Now, whether he's tired from that and maybe Hendo comes in from, yeah, possibly. But there's only 2 league games left, so I mean, surely everybody's able to play the last 2 league games. Then it's World Cup. We won't. I mean, they could get injured for playing for Brazil. So I think you play them. I think you play your best team. The next 2 league games, the League Cup game, you can rest players or play players that need to play. But it's only 2 league games left, guys. Will Bellingham be eligible to play against Spurs? A lot more talk about Rice than there is Bellingham in the last few days. I mean, Declan Rice. A lot of talk about Declan Rice and. I think Bellingham is a better player than Rice, to be fair. It gives you a lot more technical and scoring goals and stuff like that. But Rice is definitely a good player. He's basically someone like Henderson. He's like a Henderson type player, you know. So, and he'd be slightly cheaper, you would think, than Bellingham. But if he's a good World Cup, I mean, his price would be over 100 million. Maybe over 100 million. I know United are interested in him as well. So we shall see. Watch this space. Bellingham or Jude, who would you take? If you had a choice to sign Bellingham or Jude, who would you take? I personally would take Jude Bellingham, but I wouldn't, queef or look away in disgust with a Rice signing either. Stick with the 4-3-3, says Eamon Kelly, on Sunday. Absolutely, Eamon. I think you might go with the famous 3 in midfield, Fab, Hendo, Thiago, just because it's away, just because it's going to be tight. It's going to be, you need all your experience in the big away games like that. No messing first 10, 15, of course. All our Irish fans won't let us sign Rice. Yeah. Well, I played for Ireland's under 19s and I think under 21s, and then went to England. Same with Grealish, 2 of them. Rice and Grealish. What a mistake Ireland had now holding on to them. But it was their choice. I mean, they grew up in England. They're English, you know what I mean? They played for England, so there you go. The granny rule almost worked on those 2. But I want to see Doak, Ramsey and Gordon. Katie Gordon, I presume you mean, in that game. And Tyler Martin is on loan at Blackburn Rovers and playing very well, so he certainly won't be there. Katie Gordon has a bit of an injury and has been out for a while, so he won't be there. Definitely Ben Doak, the guy we signed from Celtic, who's ripping up the under-21s at the moment, banging in the goals. I'd love to see him start, maybe even on the bench against Derby in the League Cup game, and definitely Ramsey to get a start. All these types of players get games, Carvalho and so. Players that haven't really played much, give them a game against Derby. We're at Anfield. We're the holders, of course, but I certainly wouldn't be playing anything like a half a team type of thing. Anybody that doesn't play on Sunday gets a game against Derby then midweek. Has to. But Ben Doak, as you say, I've done a video on him. He really does look. He does look the part, doesn't he? He really does look the part. He's still only young. He's still only there. But will you see him in the likes of FA Cup, League Cup games, maybe the odd league game on the bench? Come on. With 10, 15 to go, yes, I have a feeling you will see him in the Premier League before the end of the season, probably the latter end of the season, but definitely in the League Cup game, I would certainly have him on the bench and give him a go. Definitely. Probably more likely on the bench, but all wins to us. It's good, actually. 2-2. These are Liverpool's results, I presume he's talking about. 2-2, 3-1, 2-0, 1-0. for the last four results. Yeah, we have a really good record against them. And I presume the 2-2 was the game at Anfield. That last minute penalty from Kane when Salah scored that wonder goal, which we all thought 2 or 3 years ago that had won it. And then Kane gets that dodgy penalty for diving and an Olympic gold medal. But look, it won't be easy. They're under a bit of pressure too. I mean, the form has been up and down, so they'll be wanting to win the game as well and finish the next two games on a high this side of the World Cup breakup. So, we want to be careful. We want to be ready to rock a game Sunday. That's what we need. A game. Ravi Bakari in the house, my friend. How are you? Hit the like, hit the share. Let's get people in. The more likes, the more people come in. We've 13 people and only 5 likes. You dare good results? No, they're all away to Spurs. Oh, they're all away. Yeah, look, we've had decent results there. I always remember the 1-0 Bobby, the Bobby goal, the 1-0 Bobby goal. There's some ridiculous big score lines away, but it's never an easy ground, really, is it? I mean, I'd take 1-0 right now. I'd absolutely take 1-0. Last minute OG, whatever, in off the referee. I don't care. I'd take 1-0 right now. I think it's going to be a tight game. One would also start Bjaticic. I presume you mean against the Derby, would you? Was that what you mean? Yeah, Bjaticic will definitely start against Derby. I think he's been in around the first team. He's come on, even came on against Napoli, didn't he? Injury watch-alongs during the World Cup for everyone. Yeah, but I might do a watch-along of the odd big game, I suppose, when it starts getting into the quarters. Starts getting into the semis, the World Cup final watch along would be good. 8 million people watching you live, wouldn't it? I will be watching the World Cup, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I grew up in the 80s and 90s watching the World Cup in the summertime, and it's really meant to be played. The summertime. And you're kicking the ball around on the grass, and it's bright till 10:30, 11:15. But now it's going to be cold, windy, icy, pitch dark in the World Cup. It just doesn't make sense. Hopefully, this is the last time it's ever going to be in the winter again. I think Spurs, they will be playing like they did against Chelsea and be dirty. But Liverpool need to be smart and play our brand of football, says Ravi. So we just got to play our football, as you said. We just got to play our game, play our A game, bring it there, keep it tight first 10, 15, try catch them on the break. Everyone's going to have to play well. Defensively, very tight. Midfield's going to have to be really industrious, busy, and nothing silly. Try hold on to the ball and take your chances. Be clinical. I mean, that's an easy team talk, but that's basically what you've got to do in every game, especially away from home, because our away record is fucking terrible, and we've got to stop the rot this weekend. City have never scored at Spurs Stadium, and they have played one Champions League game there and like 5 Premier League. Wow, that's some... Spurs have a bit of a hoodoo over Man City, don't they? They have a bit of a hoodoo over them. Darwin, I do rate the lad. Was doing well so far. Well, look, I mean, he's a decent goals per game ratio. And I mean, when he came on the other night against Napoli, he just turned the game upside down. That was ending in a 0-0 or something, wasn't it, really? When he came on about 74th minute, he made a goal, scored a goal, could have had another goal. Just chaos onto the pitch, basically. It was like a chemical reaction when he came on. It just went haywire, and that's good to see. But I want to see him doing it from the start. If he starts on Sunday, which I think he will start, I want to see him doing it from the start. In, bang, bang, nothing silly, none of these stupid elbows. In tight, moving. His pace is just like afterburners. I mean, he's so fast. For a big lad, 6'1", very, very fast, very deceiving. But he's got to be clinical, take his chances. Dave, your boy Calvin looks a player. Calvin Ramsey does look a player. I've seen a bit of him in the other 21s. He's got a few goals for Liverpool. I like him. I think he's been unlucky with injuries. We signed him from Aberdeen, only 19. Scottish Young Player of the Year. Big hopes from Klopp. Has big hopes from. He's a proper sized lad. Like he's well built. He's pacey. He's intelligent. He can score goals from fullback. He's an attacking fullback. That's the reason we signed him for cover for Trent. Will he play the weekend? No. Will he play in the League Cup? I would think so. I think he's going to get started in the League Cup game against Derby. But I do like him. Just as I say, just get those injuries out of the way and get ready to rock and roll. Calvin Ramsey, remember the name. Coffee Addict Trent will help us. Trent will help the Spurs to win. Trent will help Spurs to win, I presume you meant. I thought Trent was decent the other night against Napoli. A lot more defensive. Didn't go as far forward as he usually does and was more looking over his shoulder as he usually doesn't. You know that type of way? He's just got to cut out those silly mistakes. I mean, he gives us so much going forward. Will he eventually in a year or two move into midfield? Maybe. But at the moment, he's going to be a right back. I think Konate, Van Dijk partnership eases that back four down as well. So I need my boy Konate to start more, says Ravi. He will. He's only back from a bloody injury, and he was brilliant last game he played. He gives you that extra bit of danger from corner kicks and free kicks with him, Van Dijk, Konate, Van Dijk, Darwin there as well. Big boys. I mean, Hendo's not small either. Fab's not small. Matip used to do it when he was on the pitch. He's out injured, so you've got that extra height, but he's a big, big unit, isn't he? Him and Van Dijk, like the wall. Just got to get that partnership together. And he's fast, he's pacey. He's got that pace. Love how confident Konate is. He's a French international, isn't he? Is he going away with France in the World Cup? I don't know what the squads have been announced. I think it's next week. Guys, as I said earlier, Champions League last 16. As we know, it's one of four teams. Either Real Madrid, the champions, Bayern Munich, Sadio Mane's Bayern Munich, FC Porto, who we always get and love, or Darwin's ex-team, Benfica, who won their group, so they're decent. Who do you want in the last 16? Personally, I want FC Porto. I really do, because we always seem to do well. We won the Champions League last time, and we were in the final last year when we get them, so it's a good omen. Or I want Benfica, but I think it's going to be Sadio Mane's Bayern Munich. I just think it's written in the stars that we get Bayern in the last 16. I think the draw is Monday. I'll do something for it. I think the draw is Monday morning at 11 a.m. Champions League last 16 draw. So all eyes on the big draw. It could have been worse. Could have had PSG in there. It could have been PSG, Bayern, Real, or Porto. But Benfica won their group, so PSG finished second. So someone's going to get PSG. Hopefully it's City. City PSG would be nice, wouldn't it? Southgate will call up Trent now. I think so. Yes, I think he will. I think he will, Eamon. Darwin has more goals than Mane. There's the thought for the night. Darwin Nunez has more goals than Mane. I mean, he's fair for you, was he? 6 or 7 goals. I mean, he's only started a few games. He could have had a lot more. He could have easily had double what he has. I mean, he's had as many chances. I feel with our personnel, the 4-3-3 doesn't quite work for us, says Ravi. Well, it's worked for us up till now. I mean, 4-3-3 has worked. I mean, only really Mane's gone has worked for us right up until now, and I think it still works. I do like the 4-2-3-1 when everybody's fit. But at the moment, we've just got to make do with what we've got and, utilise the best. It's away from home. It's going to be tough, as I say. I think you'll keep it tight and conservative. He always is tight and conservative when we're away at home with a big top 6 club as well. And we usually play better against the big top 6 clubs. With something about us. I mean, it was like the Forest and the Leeds games, the lower league teams. We were brutal against. You could say we were crap against United as well, and we were crap against Arsenal. We were a bit better against Arsenal, but we were really going through a poor time against United. PSG, once we're out of Champions League, no more excuses. PSG, once we're out of the Champions League, no more excuses for the Premier League. People can't get PSG anyway. PSG finished second in their group, so we won't be getting PSG unless we get to the quarterfinals. And they do too. I would love to see Trent, RCM, once Ramsey proves himself. Yeah, right side of midfield. That's what I'm saying. It's a possibility Trent could go into the right side of midfield. And hopefully Ramsey is the player we all think he's going to be and plays in behind him. But can't see it happening this side of Christmas, can you? 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1 with our current squad does better. Yeah, but... Probably Ravi, yeah, probably. I won't say no to that one. I just want the 3 points on Sunday. I don't care what he does. I don't care if he plays 11 men behind the ball and we just get the bit of luck and get the rub of the green and the ball goes in the net. We come here Sunday night doing an instant match reaction at about 6:30 and I'm happy and smiling with the away win, 1-0 away win, something like that. That's when I'm going to go. I think it'd be tight, really a goal in it. Something like 1-0 away win to Liverpool. And maybe Nunez or Salah be the hero, but Salah's a decent record against Spurs, but Salah's a decent record against everybody, isn't he? Really? I think he scored with every Premier League club, at least home and away anyway. So, Ravi, but Jones would start left mid because Carvalho can't just get on. Let's see if I can see that again. Can't just get thrown in big games. He wasn't that good away at Forest. No, Jones was poor away at Forest. He's been decent at it. He was decent enough in the Napoli game. He wasn't bad, but he's hot and cold as well, isn't he? You don't know what you're going to get from Curtis Jones. That's the only problem. You just don't know what you're going to get. I think we need big name players. We need big game players. We need experience on Sunday on the pitch. We need as much experience of big game players on the pitch and all to show up basically to get a result. I think, even though Spurs are You don't know what team you're going to get. You could get a really good Spurs, attacking Spurs on the day. They could probably beat anybody. Or you could get a poor Spurs and they don't turn up and the crowd goes against them and stuff like that. And that's the Spurs I'm hoping we get, you know. Porto and Benfica will probably be called out before Liverpool's pot. Most likely get Bayern. Yeah, but it'd be interesting if Real and Bayern get called out early. You know, look, we have to see what we get. I mean, you have to play whoever you get. Simple as. I'm just throwing it out there. Who would you like, type of thing. I would like Porto, Benfica secondly, but I think we're going to get Bayern. I just written in the stars, as I said, with Mane and all that history and stuff, and Germany and Klopp, and we have a good record against Bayern Munich though. We knocked them out in 2019. Remember the last 16, and we won it. That was number 6, baby. So you never know. But Bayern are a different team this year, and I think they had 18 points. I think they had 6 wins out of 6. But it means nothing we'll be a different team in February. We don't kick a ball in Champions League now until February. We could have 1 or 2 players in January. We'll have Jota back. We'll have Diaz back. We'll have Matip back. We could have players could find form. We could find clean sheets. We could be just a different team on a 4, 5, 6, 10 match run by February. So who knows? I mean, you can't really talk about whoever we get until about a week before the game, I suppose. And, you know, it's just football can change so much in a week and a few days. So you never know. I mean, we've beaten Man City. We've beaten Napoli. That was Napoli's first loss in 21 games. We've beaten City, you know, 2 of the best teams in Europe, City and Napoli. We've beaten both of them. You know, we beat Ajax 3-0 away. So, you know, we can do it. We can definitely do it. We're just not consistent. We're consistently inconsistent this season, basically, Liverpool. Consistently inconsistent. That's the new Pep Linders book, which should be coming out for Christmas, you know. LFC, consistently inconsistent. But then we just got to get that consistency back. And that's what I'm saying. We have 3 games, 2 league games, 1 away, 1 at home, and 1 League Cup game at home. As holders, I'd like to win it anyway. But I'm not too worried about it. I think we've got to concentrate on the league. We've got to concentrate now. All our efforts, next 2 games. And when we come back, bang, 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 bang. As many league games and wins. You know, draws are no use anymore. Got to get the wins. Got to get up the table. Got to get back into contention for that top 4, because you can't rely on winning it. We'd have to win number 7 to get back into it, and that's not going to be easy. You know, I'd rather get 4th place or 3rd place or whatever, and have it wrapped up. I really would, and let's hope. I still think we can. But I think Sunday's big. I mean, if we lost on Sunday, I would really fear. I would fear. It would just keeps making it tougher and tougher and tougher. It really just keeps making it tougher. Plus, you have Spurs there who'll be hoping to get into the top 4 as well. So it's like a 6-pointer game, really. If we could beat them, pushes them back, you know, the type of thing. So, but it's going to be interesting. I mean, Conte is one of the best managers as well, and Conte is, you know, thinking Klopp, Conte. It's going to be a nice matchup, and who's going to outgun, and Spurs Stadium looks brilliant. What a brilliant looking stadium as well. It looks like a great place to play football. Glasgow Reds chats. John is in the house. How are you doing, Johnny boy? Hopefully you're well, my friend. Kelly, we can't have Spurs going 13 points ahead of us. We just can't. Same. Jesus Christ. Everybody's points ahead of us this stage. Wow, 13 points ahead of us if they win. Oh, so bad. So bad. I mean, so early in the season, and we're only into November, and to be so far behind. I mean, the league is gone. We're not going to win the league. It'd be miracle whip. But top 4 is going to be even tough at this stage. But I still think we can do it, but it's going to be tough. Even though Spurs have injuries, we can still go. We can still go in half-hearted. Sports of injuries, we've injuries. You know, I'm just hoping Son doesn't play. I think that'd be a big plus for us. You're hoping Kane is an off day. They've a good team though, good squad, you know, great manager, as I say. So I'm not going to take this game lightly. I think there'd be only a goal in it, you know, a 2-1 or a 1-0, something like that. Could go either way. It's a toss of a coin. We just got to play our game. We got to pick the right personnel for the game. As I say, experience and nothing silly. Don't give them any encouragement. They're the home team. Don't give their crowd any encouragement. Do not give their crowd any encouragement. First 10, 15. We have got to keep it tight. We have to try get the first goal and shut up that crowd. That's basically what we got to do. We're going to have to keep doing that more. When we weren't doing it enough and we're a different team, we score first. The other team comes at us and we catch them on the break and try to get a second or third. So it's a big game. I'm looking forward to it. Usually it's a decent game between Liverpool and Spurs, both footballing sides, both attacking sides. So it's going to be really, really interesting. As I say, I'll probably do something tomorrow night or Saturday night with Keaton Ivan or someone like that for or Jack, or we do another little show and a build up as you get closer. Sure, you've Klopp's press conference tomorrow as well. You might get a few tidbits and injury checkouts tomorrow at lunchtime with Klopp. I always check that out because he always has a little bit of something to say, or he's back, or he's due back, or what's happening. So we keep an eye on that. Also, the last 16. Who do you want in the last 16? The big draw is Monday. And then, as I say, it's we're almost there. The World Cup's around the corner. The World Cup is around the corner. I'll do a few videos, a few shorts, and do the odd thing, maybe the odd watch along for the World Cup. Absolutely. Have to do something. It's about 5 weeks long, so I'll definitely be doing something. Dave, does our high line cost us at times, says Ravi? Look, we've had so much success, Ravi, with our high line. I mean, the high line's not as high line. In the last few games, I don't know whether you noticed or not, we weren't huge high line as we were at the start of the season. It's slightly gone back, maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 metres or not. We were being caught with balls over the top a lot in the first, 6-7 games. It has eased off. It has eased off, to be fair, We're getting Porto for sure. We always do, says John. I would take that right now, John. Absolutely, right now. Absolutely. And they won their group, so, the Portuguese teams did well, Porto and Benfica. Both won their groups, so, is it a different Porto? I just think the record against them is just ridiculous. They freeze when they play Liverpool, Good record against Benfica, but they're a decent side this season, and they sold us Darwin, and they're really good. I mean, they won, it was a 6-1 away to Maccabi Haifa in Israel. They had to win by 5 clear goals, and they did. They won 6-1, which ultimately, literally, in last minute or two to go in that game, won them the group, and then PSG came second. So the likes of City, Spurs, Chelsea could get PSG. You don't want them. Big up, Dave. This is why I rate your views, says Rafi. Look, I'm just speaking, they're only opinions. You don't have to rate them. You don't have to do anything to them. They're my opinions. You give your opinion in the comments. That's what it's about, guys. It's just about, what you think. I've been watching football since the 80s. I know a little bit about it. But, you play your best team. That's what I'll be doing. Klopp tomorrow, I'm sure he'll be saying the same thing. Whoever's fit and ready to rock. We've only got 2 league games left, so we got to be playing our best team. Can't be talking about tiredness or anything or resting. We got to play your 2 best teams in 2 league games. You can give you a little rest in the League Cup game, give some of the young lads a game and get ready to rock. But we need 6 points from the next 2 league games. It is absolutely imperative. I'm sure Klopp and the staff, Pep Linders and all the boys are drumming it into the lads in the last few days. So... But the Napoli game certainly would have gave us something as well. As you said, a really, really good side, Napoli. I mean, we've had 2 really good results recently, Napoli and City. I mean, if you would have told me before the City game that we'd beat Napoli and we'd beat City and keep 2 clean sheets against 2 of the most attacking sides. One had Haaland in it, the other one had bleeding the best team in Europe in it that were scoring goals for fun. I mean, that has to give you something. The Konate, Van Dijk partnership, yeah, beautiful. It has to give you something. And I mean, Alisson wasn't overworked, really, against Napoli, was he? 1 or 2 saves you'd expect him to make, and then a goal disallowed. It was just offside, but it was just offside. And defensively looked really good. As you say, our midfield wasn't great going forward, but it gave us a lot of protection, the midfield. Fabinho was putting his foot in, doing the little niggles, doing this, doing that. So, nice, Dave. We just have to turn up and take our chances. We'll not do anything silly, but we fully focused on what we can do. Look, we just got to turn up, Ravi, as you said. We got to play our A game, though. We can't be in BC mode. We have to be literally in A game mode to beat Spurs. Del by Gunner TV, what's the crack, Dave? How are you going on, buddy? Hopefully you're well. I'm sure Arsenal fans are on top of the league, on top of the morning team, are really, really happy at the moment because they're playing very well. Can they keep it going? I think Arsenal might need a little injection in January. Just gives you that impetus. Don't just stick with what you got. Bring in a little bit of something in January and it'll help you, and you never know. Yeah, I still think City will win it. I just think City are better, are the best team in the league, just simple as. The squad they've got, they'll probably add in January too. But, you never know in football. You just never know. And if Arsenal can run them close, it's better for the league. It's better for the league. Dave, what beers are you drinking these days? Me? Diet Coke, baby. Diet Coke. I'm going out Saturday night for a few beers, baby. With a few of me mates that I haven't seen in a while, so I might put 1 or 2 pictures up on Instagram. So check it out, Dave's LC Chats on Instagram and on Twitter. Napoli was a proper test. Spurs ain't up to that level, says Eamon. No, they're not quite that level. But we've got to be at a good level. We've got to be a better level than that. I think we've got to be there rocking. As I say, keep it tight, take your chances. And we do make chances in games. Just got to be more clinical. We just got to take the fucking chances. Especially Darwin Nunez. He gets chances. Obviously, Leeds game, I'm pointing to where he had 2 chances. We could have won that game. Just take your chances. It's the hardest thing in football. We keep saying it. Is scoring goals. That's what it's about. Score goals, usually win games. That's it. I mean, we're defensively getting a bit tighter, much tighter than we have been. So take your chances. You have a great chance of winning the game, baby. You have a great chance of winning the game. Salah keeps scoring. He keeps the record up. He's 41 European goals, which is level with Stevie G. So he only needs one more to become our all-time European, as a Champions League, or just European goal scorer. So, I mean, Salah, wow. And he will break that, won't he? Absolutely. But I'm just, as I say, guys, it's only a short little chat. Get your scorelines in, get your team in. Who do you like in the Champions League last 16 draw on Monday? What do you think we should do? Just keep the spine, get that spine tight, keep it tight, nothing silly. I mean, I'm not saying it's a silly team talk, an easy team talk, but that is it. I mean, that's what you say when you're away from home, at home, especially away from home. Keep the crowd quiet, first time 15. Don't do anything silly. Don't do anything outrageous. If you can score, brilliant. But if you can't, don't give away a goal. If they score a wonder goal or a great goal and, 50 passes, nothing you can do about it. But you certainly don't give them an advantage. You certainly don't hand it to them in a gold envelope and say, here, there you go, there you score, which we have been doing in games. I mean, the Leeds game, the first goal, Gomez basically gave an assist, to the Leeds player Rodrigo when he scored. Even the first goal, I mean, where was the defending? There was so much poor defending in the earlier part of the season. Let's hope that gets wiped out. But Konate, Van Dijk there, the possibility it might get wiped out. It might get wiped out. Midfield just gets tighter, and the forward line take the chances, baby. Simple. Football simple. That's why it should be a coach. Obviously not that simple when you're on the pitch. You've crowds and you've elite players playing against you. So any mistake, you get punished. So, at top Premier League level, top Champions League level, international level, whatever, you make a mistake, it's punished usually. It's usually punished, you know what I mean? So cut out the mistakes. I think that would be the biggest thing from Klopp, I would say, in the big team talk that you would think he's going to have tomorrow and Saturday before the game. And I'm hoping for the 3 points. With 2 games, I'm hoping for 6 points in the next 2 games, and then we can go away to the World Cup. Or, I'm sure Liverpool will be still training with 7 or 8 players that go away. But the players that stay will be probably having a few games. I think AC Milan were playing now. I just heard that playing AC Milan in some sort of a tournament, football or friendly type thing. But we will be training, of course, because we're going to have to be ready to roll straight away when the players come back from the World Cup. They're only back, I think, if they get to the final. If any of the players get to the final, they'll only have 6 days to recover before we play on Boxing Days, Stevens' Day over here, today after Christmas Day, of course, and it's Aston Villa away, which won't be Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa, of course. It'll be Unai Emery's Aston Villa. I think it's Brentford and Leicester as well, and then transfer window opens, and who knows? Who knows what happens? But FSG, if you're listening, open the checkbook, please. I said it nicely, so maybe they will. But as I say, Declan Rice, Jude Bellingham seems to be, I don't know, Pete, last week of just a sense of maybe we're not getting Jude Bellingham. I never thought we were. I just thought the money was ridiculous. The wages were ridiculous. But it seems to be, the waters seem to be going towards Declan Rice rather than the pendulum. Sorry, I should have said. Seems to be ticking towards. But even he won't be hard. If he's a good World Cup, he'd be even, ridiculous money as well. I think we would all like Porto, Benfica, Bayern, Madrid in that order. Absolutely, yeah. Well, obviously, yeah, of course. You don't really want Bayern. You don't really want Madrid champions. You know what I mean? If you have a choice, you pick Porto, then Benfica, and then maybe Bayern. You don't want Madrid at all. Do not want. Yes, we want revenge to beat us in the final. I thought they were lucky to beat us in the final, but maybe you get them revenge and knock them bleeding out. Who knows? But you've got to play. You got to play. I suppose Monday we'll find out. Monday morning, 11 o'clock, we'll find out, and I'll let you know. If you don't know, I'll let you know within 5-10 minutes. Anyway, But whoever we beat, we beat. And as I say, by February, we'd be a different team, I'm sure. I'm hoping. We'd be more confident. Could be on a run. Could have one or two different players. We'll have a lot of players back from injury. So who knows? Who knows where we'll be in February? Who knows? You know? Who knows where any of the other teams will be? Madrid, Bayern, Porto, Benfica. Where will they be? They're playing well at the moment, but who knows? They'd be brilliant in February. It would be nice if Origi or Mane scores against Liverpool. Well, Origi plays for AC Milan. I don't think we can't get them in the last 16, and you know, so maybe could get them in the quarters if they get past. But they're second seed, so they're going to get a tough team as well. But look, I mean, there's some teams dropped out of it. Atletico Madrid, Juve, Barca. Wow, there you go. Atletico, Juve, Barca. They're mainstays. They're mainstays. Champions League quarters, semis level, finals level. Gone. You know, Dave, I do think Liverpool, we will be all right. You know, we are improving. As I say, Ravi, it's a while away. We're, what, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, about 12, 13 weeks before we kick a ball in the Champions League with a transfer window. Players coming back, especially Diaz, Jota, Matip, those three straight away. Maybe Naby Keita, fit Naby Keita, fit Ox, you know. Who knows where we will be the first week, second week in February when the Champions League comes back around. We could be mouth-watering. You know, we could have got Madrid in the draw, and all of a sudden Madrid have dropped off. We've gone right up, get revenge, bang, you know, or Bayern. So who knows? But I'll keep an eye on Monday morning, and let's see. There's going to be some big games, I can tell you. With PSG dropping in, they're going to get a big team. Could get City. Imagine PSG, City, the two Oil Classico. The Oil Classico. That would be classic game between the two oil barons, Man City, PSG. I'd love that, would you? That would really kill them, wouldn't it? The Oil Classico. They're absolutely beautiful. That would be a really sickener for both of them, wouldn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Loudmouth football in the house. How are you, my friend? I'm just scared of Bentancur and Hallberg. If their attackers push ahead of their penetrating passes, they can take us. They can take our defence out. Yeah, Hallberg is decent, I suppose. He scored a lovely goal the other night as well. Bentancur is decent. I'm hoping Son isn't available, and I'm hoping Kane is an off day. I think we'd be okay if that happens. Thoughts on Carvalho, says Ravi. I love Carvalho. Wow. I mean, he's been thrown in probably a little bit early, but I do like him. What I've seen so far of him, I like. You know, I do like. Can't see him starting the weekend, but he's done better coming on as an impact sub last 15, 20, 25. I say you might see him last 20 if we need something up front on Sunday, but I do like him, and I think this guy has one hell of a future. Same as Elliott, same as young Ben Doak, same as young Keita Gordon, maybe even Tyler Morton. All these young lads have an unbelievable. But you've got to keep the head on their shoulders, got to keep everything right, get ready to rock and roll, but should be all right. He's got everything. His touch, pace, score goals, intelligent, young, absolutely everything. I do absolutely love that young lad. What a player. Hope that answered your question. Bentancur is out, I see, says LFC. Wow. Maybe injuries will catch up on Spurs. Big transfer unlikely since Liverpool not going to qualify the Champions League next year, says Coffee Addict. Well, yeah, that's another thing. I mean, if we don't sign a big name in January, which I don't think we will, I think it'll be more a big name next summer. But listen, we still got to pull. I mean, we still got pull. We finished 5th or 6th outside the Champions League. We've still got pull. We're Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp's there. Salah's there. World-class players, Van Dijk, Alisson. Teams will want to come with the fan base. Players will want to come. Absolutely. I wouldn't write us off totally if we don't get Champions League next year. We might win it, but it does help being in the Champions League. There's no doubt about it. It is a pull. It absolutely is a pull. It's an extra pull. And with everybody looking for everybody next year, it just gives you that little pull, extra pull that you need. But Bellingham, Rice, whoever it is, or is Casado maybe from Brighton, an attacking midfield, are very good, very technical. I did a video on him earlier in the season. And I thought we were going to sign him actually in August, but we didn't. We went for Arthur Mello instead. Who the hell is that? He's down in the dungeon with Ben Davies. Oh, sorry. Ben Davies was let out. He was the dungeon master. But poor Mello was down in the dungeon, unfortunately injured in the dungeon, the injury dungeon that Liverpool seem to own. A lot of players go into it and we never see them again. So it's going to be really interesting to see. But hopefully one, maybe two come in January. But I don't see the £100 million player coming in January. I see more the 2030, the Lamar type player, Conrad Lamar player coming in. He only has, 6 months left in his contract, so there's a chance you could say, right, we give you 20 for him, bang, deal done. He's only 25, very good. We did look at him. We've had scouts looking at him. He suits the style. And we mix it up that way. Like a Diaz signing, and then we go again with a Nunez in the summer. So in other words, get a Lamar in, then we go for Jude, or we go for a Rice in the summer. Something like that, maybe. Then your whole midfield's transformed. There's your two players. Bang. But we shall see. We shall see. I'm sure they're working on stuff. I'd be very surprised. I'd be very unhappy if we don't bring anybody in January, because we just need that extra number in midfield. Because the Arthur Melo didn't work. It just didn't work. If that worked, then it was brilliant. He was playing, and he was in the team. He's getting 90 minutes out of him, and he looked okay and promising and stuff, which he had promised. I mean, he played for Barcelona. He's played for Juve. 22, 23 caps for Brazil. So, but injuries. There we go. He was injured before he came to us, and when he came to us, he got injured. The injury curse strikes again. I'd rather not go to Europe if we don't get LFC. I hate the Europa League, don't get me wrong, and I even hate the Conference League even more. That would be banter, wouldn't it? But as I said, I'd rather finish 9th or 10th, and then just concentrate totally on the league next year, and than get into that Europa League. That Europa League is Disney Cup. It's terrible. It is terrible, terrible, terrible. So glad we didn't buy Kabak and we went for Kanate. He's 10 times the player Kabak is. Well, Kanate was big money. What was he, 37 million at the time? French international. Yeah, absolutely. We all knew about Kabak that he was going to be decent. I think Liverpool didn't pull the trigger when they were going to pull the trigger. Our season starts on Boxing Day for me. Everyone fit and maybe one good signing, says Eamon. Yeah, that's the Villa away game, Boxing Day, day after Christmas, which hopefully we'll all have a good Christmas this year. We've had a few crazy COVID Christmases. Last year wasn't too bad, but the year before that, the year before and the year before that were bad, weren't they? It wasn't quite Christmas. So let's hope this Christmas is decent, which it should be. Let's get behind the team. We've a World Cup to look forward to. It's weird. It is absolutely weird. It is weird. I can't believe I'm talking about the World Cup in November, but I am. I will keep an eye on it, of course, because I do love World Cups. I love international football at that level. But it's going to be strange. It is going to be strange, no matter what way you say. No matter what way you say about it, it is going to be weird. But as I say, guys, not going to stay on too long. Just a little chat. What am I, 46 bleeding minutes in already? Hit the like, hit the share. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, at Dave's LFC Chats. Because I usually do stuff on there, shorts, and I do let people know when I'm live and when I'm out for a beer and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But, guys, yeah, no, look. As I say, enjoy your weekend. I'm looking forward to weekends. Can't crunchy. It's Friday tomorrow. I'll probably do something tomorrow night. Probably late though. I'll be probably 9, half 9. But I'll definitely do something tomorrow night. Maybe Saturday too. Keep an eye out for all that type of thing. Keep your notifications on. I don't know if you guys get notifications or not. Maybe you don't. A lot of the notifications don't work. Or even sometimes you have them on, they don't come on. But let me know if you get notifications or not, because I'm going live. This is actually YouTube, just totally YouTube. This isn't StreamYard. That's why there's nobody on with me, because it's on YouTube. You can't bring anybody on with you. It's just basically me talking. What I will be doing when I have Keith or Ivan or Jack or anybody else on, it's StreamYard, because you have to invite them in, or you can invite one of you guys in. But on YouTube, where I am now, you can't do that. It just has to be whoever's looking in the camera. We need our new centre back as well. Gomez is bad. VVD getting old. Matip getting old. Maybe next summer though. I think that's probably next summer. I mean, Matip will be back in after the World Cup and he'd be okay there. You've Gomez cover. You've Phillips, not Phillips cover. You've Kanate and Van Dijk, yes. But as you said, they are getting older. They're injury prone, as we've seen. So maybe next summer they get a centre back as well. I think there's a bit of rebuilding to be done. If we can bring one or two, as I say, Conrad Lamar or someone like that, or a young bit of talent in January, just gives you that impetus, bit of catalyst, and then do the 2 or 3 big signs next summer. But notifications are hit and miss sometimes, but usually works, as I'm in. Interesting. You are hit and miss. You're absolutely right there. They miss more than hit. They, basically that's what they do. They miss more than hit the notifications, but have them on anyway. And if they don't work, they don't work. But I usually do it on Twitter as well, saying I'm live in 5-10 minutes or something like that. That's why I'm saying give us a follow on Twitter or Instagram, because I usually let people know when I'm live, if your notifications don't work. Matip's 6th year here. Time flies. I still remember when he signed him with Mane and Clavin. Yeah, Clavin, what a player. Clavin as well. I mean, Ragnar Clavin. Remember the goal he got? Was it Burnley away? It was last minute or something. I always remember that goal. I mean, Mane in the mirror. Mane was just unbelievable for us. Imagine getting Mane now Monday morning. The banter and the big build up to that game is going to be ridiculous if we do get Bayern Munich. Never mind the German connection with Klopp and all that, but the Mane connection would be just absolutely Twitter breaking, basically Twitter breaking, wouldn't it? But look, we just gotta play. We just gotta play who we get, where we get. We, as I say, it could be a different team in February. It's a long way away. It gives it. We've time now to reflect. We've time to get one or two players in. We've time to get players back. So who knows? Yeah, it was Burnley on New Year in 2018. Yeah, I remember it well. I was actually, was I in a pizza restaurant when that goal went in? I had it on my phone. Yeah, I was in a pizza restaurant. Actually, I was in a pizza restaurant watching that game on my phone. He jumped down my shit. See, but yeah. Look, guys, as I say, big game. There'll be a lot more build-up chat and content and bits of crack and whatever coming up in the next few days for the Spurs game. But as I say, I will do stuff during the World Cup break. Definitely. I'm sure you'll have a lot of rumours for Liverpool going through, and we'll be looking at injuries and looking at stuff like that. Might have the odd friendly with Liverpool. I'm sure they will have friendlies and stuff like that just to keep whoever stayed behind fit and match fit. You know what I mean? That didn't go to the World Cup. They're organising a few things, and I'm sure a little camp and stuff like that. Probably a hot weather camp in France or Portugal. I'm sure Liverpool will do something like that for a few weeks just to get out of Liverpool. It's cold, damp November, December. They'll definitely do something. I'll try to get a few interviews, get a few people on, interesting people to chat and stuff like that, and do a bit of stuff for the World Cup. So don't worry, the channel will keep going. Keep going. Barry Sweeney, I'm not ready for the man to come to Liverpool, back to Liverpool. Yes, it's Barry. And I'm just thinking, these things in football always have a thing coming back to bite you. And everyone's talking about Man, everyone's talking about Bayern. All of a sudden you get them in the last 16 in the Champions League, which obviously is possible. It's a 1 in 4 chance. 1 in 4 chance, 25% chance you're going to get them. Hoping for a draw against Spurs. I'm hoping for a win against Spurs. Look, I wouldn't be down in the dumps with a draw, but I'm hoping for a win. I'm going into the game for a win. See how the game pans out, I suppose. Lovren versus Spurs in 2017. Remember that game. I also remember the Moreno goal. I think it was his debut for Liverpool away at Spurs. The lovely run and hit it from edge of the area, bullet into the corner. If you ever remember, a Klein goal as well. So maybe some weird goal scorers against. Klein scored a free kick. That was a 1-1 draw there. I think it was Klopp's first game. Was that Klopp's first game against Spurs? First away game, anyway. At Spurs, it was 1-1 draw. I'll always remember. I think I was in Brighton. Was I in Brighton that weekend at a stag? I think I was. And I was on the telly in the background of the pub. And Klein scored. 1-1 draw, yeah. But as I say, it's a good record. Decent record against Spurs. And, that's good. That's good to have that in the bag. We'll stay on for the hour. What have we got? Another 8 minutes. So hit the like, hit the share. Give it 8 more minutes, guys. And we can have a little chat. And as I say, I'll do a lot more stuff. Build-up wise till Sunday. Mane told Neuer his favourite Liverpool goal was the one he spun and scored against Munich, the 3-1 away win. I actually did the watch along for that game back in March 20. Was it March? Yeah, March 20. February or March. I think it was February or March. Could have been February 2019. And I got banned for 5 weeks. Banned from YouTube for 5 weeks for doing a watch along. And it was just me, you talking into the screen like that. You couldn't see the television. Television was over there. It was mute, no audio. 2 hours chatting. Bang, banned straight away. YouTube, copyright ban. Someone said I was doing bullshit as usual. It took ages to get back on YouTube. And that really knocked me back. I didn't do many watch alongs after that because we kept on being afraid of getting banned. You know what I mean? So absolutely. They were the crazy days back in 2019. I was only a while doing YouTube, but that was it was a great result. Of course, beating them 3-1, and we went into, everybody knows what happened that year. We won number 6, big years, of course, against Spurs in the final, but actually I did the final, Champions League final, Liverpool Spurs, with Anfield Agenda, with Craig and Connor and Brian Morrissey, actually, down in Craig's house in his house for the Champions League final, believe it or not, in 1st of June 2019. And that was some win, 2-0. Unbelievable. What a win. What an experience, and just absolutely brilliant, brilliant. Bit of unlucky this year, heartache this year, of course, being beaten. Horrible goal, really, to be given away. With chances, man. He hit the bar. I mean, Courtois, man of the match. Salah could have had two at least. We could have won that game 3-1. Really could have won that game 3-1. Maybe 3-2 if they had another chance, but we should have won that game. Should have got something out of that game, maybe even brought the penalties. But it is what it is. You need a bit of luck in the big games, and we didn't get it against Madrid in June this year. But never know. Might get it this year, might get it next year. Let's go. As I say, looking forward to it. Big game on Sunday, guys. What's your prediction for the game? I'm going to go 1-0 Liverpool. 1-0 to Liverpool the weekend. A clean sheet and one goal with a Mossala, King of Egypt with the goal. 1-0. I would take it all day. I'd take a Darwin Nunez, like an OG, whatever you want. I'd take anybody, Allison, header, anything. But just think Salah now is a good record against them. He's looking on fire. Salah to score, 1-0, bang, done deal, 3 points, go again. League Cup, then Southampton. But we want to win. We want the 3 points. We got to get it. And I believe we will get the A game. I'll talk soon. We'll leave it there. Hit the like, hit the share. It's been great having you in, guys. Thanks very much for popping in. As I say, a lot more content. Probably do something tomorrow night. 9, half 9. It'd be a bit, as I say, it'd be probably a bit, well, anytime after half 8, because I have to do something tomorrow night, but I won't be back till about half 8. So it'll be after that. We'll do another little show probably tomorrow night. On the big build-up. Bobby loves a game against Spurs. They all love games against Spurs because we've had so many bloody good results against them recently. My dog Luna wants to get out to the back garden. Eamon Kelly, LF, thanks for popping in. Legends for popping in. As usual, you guys make the show. Hit the like, hit the share. That's it. We'll do a lot more stuff. As I say, I was just meant to pop in for 20 minutes, but as usual, it's 56 minutes at this stage. And as soon as you come on, you stay longer. I start waffling, and this is what happens. You know what I mean? LFC, CJ1, fair play to you guys. The weekend is upon us, my friends. The weekend is just around the corner. Happy, tank, crunchy. You never walk along for better or worse as coffee addict. I might actually have a cup of coffee after reading that. A nice cup of strong coffee after reading Coffee Addict's little post there. But as I say, guys, you guys make it. You keep posting, commenting, liking, doing all this, subbing, whatever you do. You make it, because, I mean, I've done it in the early days where I'd come on and be talking to myself for an hour, but nobody there. Might be 1 or 2 people. You might get the odd, might get the odd comment. The dog barks his head off, trying to get out. I better let Luna out. Guys, that's been it. Stay safe, talk soon. You never walk alone. Big game the weekend. We got to beat Spurs. We got to get the 3 points. My dog is barking its head off. Maybe he knows something I don't. Maybe he knows we're going to get the 3 points. Hold on. I'll let him out. Hold on. Yeah, the dog's out the back. The dog is out the back, baby. I had to let him out. He was barking his head. You know, we'll give it the hour. What, it'll be 3 minutes? Thanks, Dave, Coffee Addict. Guys, you're absolute legends. Absolute legends. As I say, I'll keep doing it as long as I'm enjoying it. And at the moment, I'm certainly enjoying it. These are absolute legends. Stay safe. Talk soon. See you tomorrow night and probably Saturday. This means more. Liverpool, Spurs.